Ladies and gentlemen all over the world, I bring you greetings from Deroko Technology Company. My name is Ajay Isaac, and I'll be glad to talk about smoke produced by a vessel on the sea. We all know that smoke is one of the unpleasant elements that always affect our environment and society as a whole. And due to this, it has some significant effect. Most ships also have this encounter that they always consider on the ship vessel. They have exhaust fumes from engines which produce this smoke. Periodically, the Marine and Port Authority of Singapore have remind the shipmasters and owners of the vessel to take all necessary preventive measures in emitting excessive smoke from engine exhaust, which occurs during their operations at the ship and marine basement. Now they take a serious vessel or emitting excess smoke. Now they have also distributed a fine to the marine and ship companies that if they produce smoke in any essence, they will be fined. Now, in spite of this, aside all these things, we know the effect that smoke can give to us. If we have depository oil substances, these substances form part of the things that the ship uses in generating power for them to sail through very well. Now, out of these chemical reactions, they always bring out atmospheric air, and this atmospheric air is very, very harmful and can damage structures and plant as well. And there are some exhaust systems on the ship that can also cause potential fire hazard and increase back pressure. So there are different kind of smoke. We have different colors of smoke depending on the content and the kind of emission that it brings out. At a high load, the kind of engine or the smoke that comes out is very little, and at a lower or transient load, the kind of smoke that always comes is very high. Now, we will talk much about the environmental concern that this smoke gives to us, because as humans, we always need to take our health very, very serious. And I think this is one of the reasons why the marine port authorities are considering on how they are able to eradicate and bring this smoke down, so that the health concern of people living within those surroundings will be cared for. Now, ship smoke contains pollutants like sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide, which are major concern to our air quality. So those living within and around the port areas faces this air concern. We need oxygen to live in our daily lives. We need to have this oxygen, and if we are very close to a port area which also releases sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide, which they are catalysts to the air quality, means that those living there have greater chances of having health challenges. So the marine regulations are increasingly strict about smoke emission, and they are pushing ship operators to use cleaner fuel and optimize engine performance to minimize smoke production. Now let's see how we are going to control smoke vessel at the port. Now the reason why I'm talking about this thing is that Deroko Technology Company had a solution for this smoke, and we call on those marine and port authorities, we call on those that use ships to sail and to do business, to seek the consent of Deroko so that they will be able to help them resolve this by giving them the perfect solution that can eradicate smoke for them to overcome and for them not to be fined by the Marine Port and Authority people. So we have with Deroko company technology, we have electronic exhaust. I think this electronic exhaust is different from the one that the ship uses, but we have the one particularly for the ship and also the marine operators, so that in times of operating and sailing through, doing their normal businesses, having income and expenses, moving goods from one place to another, they will be able to reduce the excessive smoke that creates danger to the human's health. Failure to comply to this regulation that was set by Marine and Port Authority of Singapore will attract 5,000 euros. So this was what they said, that those that pollute the air, those that release smoke to destroy the combination of the oxygen that we need to take in, will attract a fine or a penalty. So if you will be paying for this penalty, I'm really sure, I'm really glad that majority of those that avail themselves, or the majority of that have invested in ship and marine, they are now thinking of, so what are the solutions that we might need to be able to avoid this fine? What are the proactive measures that we need to take so that we can work safely without having any regulations that will set fine for us, that will try to stop us from working, or that will ban us completely from working? So I'm sure now they are thinking about various ways that they will be able to overcome this. And I bring you great news that the Deroko Technology Company has this solution, has this device, electronic exhaust, that will be able to help the marine and ship operators to operate without polluting the air and without destroying the combination of the oxygen. With great respect, I'm so much happy and glad that I've shared with you the smoke vessel that the ships comes along with. And I know that if we try to find solutions, we will be able to have it. There is no problem without a solution. And I know that the Deroko Technology Company, with this electronic exhaust, will lead and will also help the marine and port authorities to do their work effectively, the operators to be able to operate without having to pollute the air, to contaminate, and to create health issues for the health of mankind. I know that this device has come to stay and is going to help us. Thank you very much.